Welcome to CEOs in Cars, a BC business video series brought to you by the Dilawri Group of Companies and Porsche Centre, Vancouver, in which we drive around in high-performance cars with British Columbia's equally high-performing CEOs. In this episode, BC business writer Steve Burgess rides alongside C-SPAN CEO Jonathan Whitworth. Whitworth's father introduced him to life on the seas at a young age, and he was immediately hooked. After working all over the world, Whitworth made his way to North Vancouver in 2009 to take over the helm at C-SPAN as the company's CEO. After leading the company to a multi-billion-dollar contract with the federal government, Whitworth has positioned C-SPAN as one of British Columbia's industrial giants. Since the CEO has proven his ability to steer a company towards prosperous waters, we put him in the 2015 Porsche Cayenne for a smooth ride as he navigated through Vancouver's North Shore.
Jonathan Whitworth?
Yes.
CEO of C-SPAN.
Correct.
Now, this would be a fine vehicle for some other day, but today I'm thinking not. We maybe need a Cayenne with a roof.
Excellent. We'll do this another day.
We'll do this another day. Let's head out. What was your first vehicle?
Well, I have an official answer and I have an unofficial. The unofficial, funnily enough, when I was 16, I saved up my pennies and I bought a dune buggy.
Oh, nice. Did you have any dunes in the neighborhood?
Do you know, of course not. I mean, that would, again, would make sense.
That would have made it practical.
But no, I didn't have any dunes, and I wrecked it about 3 months into it, and so that was the end of that.
So SEA-SPAN, how did you get involved with that C-SPAN?
So I just went past, just a few months ago, my 5th anniversary, being here in Vancouver and at C-SPAN. And it was about 2009, obviously, when I moved here, and that was when there was a transition going on at C-SPAN, and they were looking for a CEO. And I had just recently finished a position of being CEO of a company down in the United States that was also in the shipping business.
C-SPAN is a pretty multifarious company, though, isn't it? I mean, you've got a lot of maritime-related businesses going on.
That's right. So we were very lucky. It's all marine-related, but it's quite a diversified grouping. So on the marine side, we have tugs and barges. We have 111 barges and approximately 25 operating tugboats that pull products up and down the coast. Then we have tugs and barges that dock ships. Then we also have a ferry business. And then we have our kind of new crown, Vancouver Shipyards, which is again on the North Shore in North Vancouver, just off Pemberton. And that is where we're going to be building the future vessels for the Royal Canadian Navy, 2 joint support ships that you've heard of, and basically renewing all of the Canadian Coast Guard fleet.
That was a really major contract, was it not? I mean, that was a big deal for Vancouver in general.
It's a big deal for shipbuilding industry. It's a big deal for the province.
And is there any concern? I mean, when you have, this is an awfully big contract, but are you going to build capacity that will then go unused, or is it, the hope is that you're going to be, building the capacity to fulfill these contracts, and then the shipbuilding industry, as a result, will take off. We'll have the facilities to do more work in the future.
So it's both.
Right.
We purposely built a world-class shipyard, but we're not trying to build a world-class shipyard that can produce 50 ships a year. No. We just don't want to have only one customer.
Right.
That historically doesn't usually end well.
So, just get you in trouble. What's your favorite part of the business?
Well, that's like saying which is my favorite child, right?
If one of your children is a barge, I guess.
My favorite part of the business.
Yeah.
Do you know what? It really depends on the day. I know that sounds like a cop-out.
It does.
Answer. Okay, busted. The shipyard, I was always a customer of shipyards in the past, and I've never worked at or operated or ran a shipyard business, and that's been fascinating. So I would say from the largest, call it learning curve, and from an interest, and from an ability to work with a fantastic team to try and win an $8 to $10 billion contract, shipyards.
Right.
I used to have a rule of 5-5 or life. Most people that got into business lasted 5 minutes because they're like, "This, you guys are crazy. This is nuts." Those that last about 5 years, and that's usually driven by a spouse that either says, "You got to quit," and then
after that,
guys that stay most of their lives or careers in this business because it is different. It is not the norm. But it has a hold on you that is hard to let go.
Jonathan, pleasure sailing with you today.
Oh, likewise, Steve.
It's a
Thank
fine
you.
voyage.
It was. I'm glad we survived.
What?
Oh, that's a phone.
What in the world?
Sounds like a phone function.
Where's even the numbers? Where are the numbers? Wait a minute.
Oh, it's you.
I hate this